All right, so hallucination can be of many, many types. So let's zoom in a little bit to look at the diversity of hallucinations. So, for example, this is a one we found in real application. So this is the source document, okay? It's a news article about whether COVID-19 vaccine will be available in 2019. So you can imagine this is a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old news article. And so one of the answers made by some large language models is that this says Ebola vaccine was rejected by FDA in 2019. But if you read the first sentence of this source document, it says, hey, the vaccine was approved by FDA, and okay? So the difference is that here says Ebola vaccine was rejected, but Ebola vaccine is actually approved by FDA. So this kind of error, we call it a relation error. Basically, the two objects, FDA and the vaccine, but the relation in the document is approved, but in the generated summary is rejected. Now let's look at another kind of hallucination, which we call entity error. So again, the first sentence, right? The first sentence says the Ebola vaccine was approved by FDA. But the summary sometimes could be the COVID-19 vaccine was approved by FDA. So it's an entity error. There is a vaccine approved by FDA, but it's not for COVID, it's for Ebola. So look at another one. This one is actually quite tricky. So the summary reads, the first vaccine for Ebola was approved by the FDA in 2019. They say a vaccine for COVID-19 is unlikely to be ready this year. So to make sure you are really listening, who are they? They're FDA, right? By common sense. But actually, the original document says scientists say a vaccine for COVID-19 is unlikely to be ready this year. So they is actually scientists, not FDA. So this kind of error, we call it co-reference error. Now let's look at another kind. So this one is even trickier. It says, to produce the vaccine, scientists have to show successful human trials, then sequence the DNA of the virus. Do you feel something is weird here? How come they already do human trial before they know the DNA of the virus, right? But if you read the original document, it says, to produce the vaccine, scientists had to sequence the DNA of Ebola and then identify possible vaccines and finally show successful clinical trials. So the summary generated by the large language model totally flipped the order of developing a vaccine.